Indian media claims China's J-15 carrier-based fighters have crashed over 300 units, leaving 3 aircraft carriers stranded without operational aircraft. How can such absurd rhetoric disregard basic mathematical logic, inflating crash figures to nearly double the actual total production? To debunk this baseless rumor, we need only examine the most critical data. According to analyses of public intelligence by institutions like Military Subspace, China's J-15 carrier-based fighter family, including the ski-jump takeoff J-15 and its catapult-launched variant J-15T, has a cumulative production of only 150 to 180 aircraft to date. Even Japan's Ministry of Defense, in its 2025 Defense White Paper, estimated China's carrier-based fighter fleet at around 150 aircraft. Indian media's claim of 300 crashes not only vastly exceeds China's total J-15 production but nearly doubles the actual number. Such blatant fabrication, disregarding facts, is an outright insult to readers' intelligence, as if China's J-15s were mythical phoenixes that magically regenerate after each crash. Even more laughable is the absurdity of this lie when examined closely. The actual J-15 requirement for China's 3 operational carriers, the Liaoning, Shandong, and Fujian, totals only around 100 aircraft. Specifically, Liaoning's standard complement is 24 J-15s. Shandong's optimized configuration carries 36 aircraft. Fujian, the newest addition, an electromagnetic catapult carrier with a full load displacement exceeding 80,000 tons, would likely operate a squadron of 40-50 aircraft, comparable to U.S. carriers of similar class. The combined demand for all 3 carriers falls short of even 1/3 of the purported crash figures. If China had indeed lost over 300 J-15s, it would imply not only that its active carriers would become completely hollowed out, but also that all aircraft reserved for pilot training and land-based bases would be depleted, a scenario clearly inconsistent with the steady development of China's carrier combat capabilities in reality. So what is the J-15's actual service and safety record? Since its formal commissioning in 2012, publicly documented accidents involving the J-15 have been extremely rare over more than 12 years. U.S. media previously reported at least 3 incidents involving the J-15, but most did not result in crashes. Some involved hydraulic system leaks, while others experienced abnormal speeds during simulated landings. According to statistics from authoritative science popularization media like Science World, the J-15 has experienced only 3 actual crashes, all occurring during training exercises. Each incident was followed by detailed official investigations and subsequent technical improvements. Additionally, 1 bird strike caused engine damage, yet the pilot safely landed the damaged aircraft on the carrier, demonstrating both exceptional pilot skill and the aircraft's reliability. If China were indeed losing over 20 J-15s annually as Indian media claims, its carrier-based aviation force would have long become an international laughingstock, let alone steadily advancing toward a 3-carrier fleet. Ironically, just as Indian media spread these rumors, China's naval aviation units were conducting rigorous combat-ready training. On November the 25th, the very next day after the Indian media fabricated their story, China.org.cn publicly reported on the J-15's day and night high-intensity training organized by the Naval Aviation University. Multiple aircraft consecutively completed air combat exercises, aerial refueling, and even executed precise simulated night landings. Turning to the carrier platform itself, the Liaoning set a record during recent joint sword exercises by handling 90 J-15 takeoffs and landings in a single day. The Shandong has repeatedly carried a full complement of J-15 carrier-based aircraft through the Miyako Strait into the Western Pacific for long-range training without shore-based support, successfully establishing a 300-kilometer early warning perimeter. These ironclad facts unequivocally demonstrate the high operational readiness and excellent equipment integrity of China's carrier-based aircraft force, starkly contrasting with the baseless rumors of operational incapacity. Looking back at India itself, its aviation equipment, particularly the domestically produced Tejas fighter jet, is undergoing severe safety and reliability tests. On November the 21st, 2025, an Indian Air Force Tejas fighter jet lost control during a low-altitude robotic maneuver at the Dubai Airshow. The aircraft nosedived sharply, crashed into the ground, and exploded. The pilot, 37-year-old Lieutenant Colonel Namish Syar, failed to eject and was killed. This marks the second Tejas crash within just 2 years. Adding to the embarrassment, videos circulating on social media prior to this crash showed another Tejas on display leaking oil on the ground. Although Indian officials hastily dismissed the reports, claiming it was condensation, this explanation rings hollow in the face of such a devastating crash. Statistics indicate that only about 35 Tejas aircraft have been produced, with fewer than 30 currently in active service. Yet 2 crashes have already occurred, resulting in a crash rate of 5.7%, significantly higher than that of Pakistan's J-15 Thunder fighter jet, which India often disparages. The Tejas predicament reflects deeper weaknesses in India's defense industrial system, particularly in independent innovation and system integration. This indigenous fighter program, initiated in 1983, originally aimed for 100% domestic production. Yet over 4 decades later, its core components remain heavily reliant on international suppliers. The engine is sourced from General Electric's F404, the radar is Israeli-made, the ejection seat is procured from Martin Baker in the UK, and the flight control system originates from France. The systemic integration challenges stemming from this multi-source procurement are considered a root cause of frequent accidents. For instance, the Dubai crash is analyzed as potentially resulting from flight control system failures or engine thrust reduction under high-temperature performance conditions. Faced with these challenges, some Indian officials and media outlets have resorted to habitual external blame rather than deep introspection. Indian military sources have pointed fingers at the aging American F-404 engines, while certain media outlets have speculated that this represents deliberate sabotage by the United States against India's defense independence. In stark contrast, China's aircraft carrier and carrier-based aircraft development has charted a distinct path. The Fujian, entirely designed and constructed independently by China, incorporates advanced electromagnetic catapults and arresting gear systems, marking a monumental leap in China's carrier technology. Complementing this are not only the continuously improved J-15T catapult-launched carrier-based aircraft, but also the next-generation stealth carrier-based fighter J-35, which has entered mass production, along with the KJ-600 early warning aircraft. Together, they form a systematic, modern, and sustainable carrier-based aircraft equipment system. The progress of China's defense industry relies not on empty boasts nor disparaging others, but on tangible breakthroughs in core technologies, relentless pursuit of reliability, and rigorous scientific testing and training systems. It is evident that Indian media's fabrication of the absurd narrative about 300 J-15 crashes is fundamentally a psychological compensation tactic to divert domestic attention and alleviate public pressure amid setbacks in their own aviation industry and the underperformance of their indigenous fighter jets. They attempt to mask the embarrassment of the Tejas fighters' crashes and soothe their wounded national pride by manufacturing a false information frenzy. However, military strength is never achieved through empty boasts or smearing others. Ultimately, it relies on reliable, battle-tested aircraft, on rigorous, combat-oriented training, and on a healthy, autonomous, and disciplined defense industrial system. On this arduous path to growth, what Indian media and the defense industry should truly learn is how to remove their colored glasses, set aside their Gaga spirit, and earn the tangible glory that rightfully belongs to them through sincere hard work and responsibility.